Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have been wanting to do this video for a very long time. I went through a really difficult time this year. I was struggling with debilitating anxiety and depression, and I ceased to be able to function in my everyday life. I was very vocal about that on my channel, and a lot of you guys reached out to me saying that you are also struggling with similar things, or you have in the past, or it's up and down. And all I could do during that time was share my story. I didn't feel like I had the emotional strength or the ability to really offer any help or suggestions because I was just really kind of in the thick of it. But now I feel like I'm really kind of on the other side of things. I'm not 100%, that sort of thing takes time, but I'm well on my way with a combination of some of these things I'm going to be talking about now, medication and an amazing therapist. I was able to get through that. And so now I feel like I would like to offer any kind of help or guidance to you guys that are struggling with anxiety or depression, and show you kind of some of the things that were really fundamental in my getting well. If you are able to speak to a professional, whether it be a therapist, a psychiatrist, or both, even you can speak to your physician, your family doctor, that is absolutely number one. I'm not a doctor. I'm not gonna give any suggestions for medication. I know that not everyone is fortunate enough to have access to that kind of medical care, unfortunately. So I have some natural / at-home remedies here that really helped me kind of get through some of the toughest days, and I want to share some of them with you. So first thing is aromatherapy. I was never someone that really kind of bought into aromatherapy. I know it's like a real thing, but I was always very like Western medicine and like this is what works and anything else is kind of like whatever. I was so desperate to feel any kind of relief that I was trying anything and everything, and I really proved myself wrong. I was really surprised because aromatherapy is so helpful, and I still use it to this day. I have all different kinds of scents, so I'm like obsessed with candles. This is a luxury candle. You don't have to buy this one if you want to. It's by DS and Durga, Big Sur After Rain. It smells really good. This is just an example of some things that I've used, but again, you don't have to purchase the same thing, whatever works for you. But I really love this one. It smells very fresh, very green. It's very like spa-like. I keep this one on my nightstand, and I light it at night when I'm getting into bed, and it just kind of helps me wind down. I light sage a lot. Just the ritual just feels really nice, whether you believe it cleanses energy or not. I think sometimes just lighting something and smelling it, and it just feels very like self-care. I have this spray here. I got this at Whole Foods. It's an aromatherapy room and body mist in lavender, and sometimes I'll just spray my bed or my pillow with this before I go to sleep. And lavender is just very calming. It's very soothing. These are 2 aromatherapy oils that I use constantly. This is a lavender one. I'll link everything down below of like, where you can get it. But this is lavender. It's just like a little dropper. And this is just such a nice lavender. It smells really good. At night, I'll put a couple on my palms, especially if I'm really anxious or if I'm going to meditate. And I just breathe in really deeply, and I just keep breathing it in. Sometimes I'll put a little bit under my nose. It just helps me to kind of like recenter. This one I mentioned in a favorites video. This is by Kis Oils. It's their peppermint oil. I carry this around in my purse at all times. This is just so invigorating. And the reason I love this one, I use this one when I'm feeling especially anxious. If I feel myself getting really worked up, if I feel like I'm getting panicky, I have this habit of pinching myself, like my arms or my hands, when I get really stressed or really panicky or anxious. It's not intentional. It's not to hurt myself or harm myself. I think it's just a subconscious way of me kind of like trying to snap out of it. And obviously I don't want to leave marks on my body, so I have been reaching for this so much over the past several months. So when I was really going through it, this was just constant. Like, I just reeked of peppermint oil at all times, but I think it smells really good. I still use it to this day. If I'm in the car, if I'm really anxious, anywhere, I just put it in my hand, I rub it together, and I just breathe in, and I feel like it really snaps me out of it. It's like a very healthy way. It's like a healthier version of like me pinching my hands, and it's way more effective. I also was gifted this stone diffuser by Vitruvi. They are such a nice essential oil company. They have this diffuser. It comes in a few different colors. It's like stone, and it's so beautiful. I keep this on my nightstand, and I'll either like put the diffuser on or I'll light the candle, just depending on what I'm in the mood for and what I want to smell. And this is just such a nice gift that they sent me, and I highly recommend it. It just looks really nice. I used to have this really ugly diffuser. It was like plastic and ugly, and I ended up throwing that away once they sent me this, because it's just, it doesn't take up a lot of space and it looks really pretty as like decor. And with that, they also sent me a whole bunch of their oils, which I keep in this Glossier pouch. They have so many, I'm not gonna be able to go through them all, but they have their blends, which comes with a few different scents. So this one has juniper, lime, grapefruit, and bergamot. I have ylang ylang here, which I really love. Cedarwood. I love the cedarwood and ylang ylang. I often use those two together. It smells really nice. And these also, you can put them in your palm. You can put them in a spray bottle, dilute it with water, and make your own, you know, room spray or body spray. So I'm so obsessed with essential oils now. I can't hype them enough. I also love lighting incense. Like, I have this little dish here. I have an incense on it. This is like a Palo Santo incense. This is Palo Santo. I just love like the ritual of this. I love the way they smell, and it's just like really fun and nice, and it just like makes me feel good. Anxiety gives me an upset stomach. Tea has been so helpful for me. Not only is it really soothing because it's just like warm and it tastes good, but it's very soothing to my stomach. I have this one called Tummy Mint, and this one by Yogi. It's their bedtime tea. They're both caffeine free. Any tea really that is caffeine free and just very soothing, I love. So I kind of switch them out just depending on what looks good at the moment. Ginger tea is also really helpful. Something that's been so I can't say it enough, so helpful is meditation. And I use the Headspace app. It is a free app. There's lots of free features, but if you can subscribe, I think it's about $12 a month. If you can afford it, I highly recommend, because it just unlocks a whole bunch of different guided meditations that are really helpful. Meditation was always something that was super difficult for me, especially when I'm feeling anxious. The idea of like focusing more on my body and breathing mindfully always caused me to panic a bit more. So that was something I always kind of avoided. But again, I was feeling so desperate, and my doctors were recommending meditation, and so I downloaded Headspace, and I just got like addicted to it. And it really does start changing how you think. After doing it for just like a couple weeks consistently, like every single day, I noticed that I was able to subconsciously de-escalate situations where I would be really anxious. That's something that's just was so important for me, and I still force myself to meditate even when I don't want to. I'm not sponsored by them. I've downloaded their app. I bought it myself. I just absolutely love it. And another thing that's been so helpful for me is maintaining a routine. So I understand how difficult it is to do anything when you're severely depressed and anxious. There were days where all I could do was get out of bed and then get on the couch, you know? But it's like, that was a success in itself, you know? It's like, to do a little thing for yourself that makes you feel better is huge. You know, all you can do is try your best, and your best is going to look different depending on the day and what you're going through. So one day your best might be going to the gym, you know, another day your best might be washing your face. Establishing a routine, I find in the morning and at nighttime, is so important for my mental health. So whether it's wake up, do some stretches, get a cup of tea, wash your face, do your skincare routine. Maybe like that's your morning routine. Establishing a routine is proven to be very calming and soothing to humans, because it makes us feel like we're in control, we know what we're expecting. And having that nighttime routine is really important, because another thing that's super important for mental health is getting a good night's sleep. If I stay up too late or if I sleep in too long in the morning, my whole day is just fucked. Like, absolutely. My mood changes drastically. And you know, what works for you is going to be different, but I think just establishing that routine and making sure you're getting a good night's sleep and getting up with enough time to have sunlight is so important for depression. So even if you're just getting up out of bed to then sit on the couch all day, just like open a window, you know, just sit there, enjoy the day, sit on your steps, have a cup of tea. Just those little things can be so helpful. So I hope these were helpful or useful for you guys. If you guys do something at home that works well for you, please let me know in the comments. I would like to know for myself, and anyone watching who needs some more tips or advice, I'm sure would be grateful. So if you're struggling, please know that you're not alone and it does get better. It's not permanent. That is the most important thing, and something that I didn't really believe myself. I felt like when you're in the middle of it, you feel like it's just gonna go on and on forever, but it's really not. You just have to trust that, and you have to do everything in your power each single day. Don't do it alone. You know, reach out to a friend, a coworker, a counselor, anybody, a therapist, doctor. Just accept help, because you don't have to do it alone. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, sound off in the comments about your remedies, and I'll see you in my next video.